All right, guys. So I have a little bit of a problem. Going through kind of my year in review, I realized that I have spent a lot of money on tools, and this kind of zooms out to a bigger picture problem that I think exists with a lot of software. And of course, AI is throwing a wrench in this whole thing. Everything costs money, everything's recurring subscription. But I didn't realize just how many I had succumbed to in this past year. So in this video, I'm going to go through every single tool I use in my healthcare web design agency, all the way from tools that are client-facing, design, development, marketing, CRM, internal, client-facing, all of them. There are a lot more than I thought of. And I'm also going to say too, this is all just for me. This isn't any for any of our team members. I know for a lot of softwares, you have to buy extended seats and there's add-ons in terms of pricing when you scale to more people. This is all just for me. So I'm going to go through everyone that I pay for this year on a monthly basis. A lot of these tools are one-time purchases for a year, but I've distilled them down into what their monthly cost would be at the same rate. And I'm also going to rank them and give them a review for you because I've been using them for over a year. Some of them I've used for several years, and you're going to see how valuable I actually think all of them are. Just a little bit of a preview for you guys. I'm probably going to cut some of these because not all of them are worth a squeeze, if that makes sense. So let's go into Notion here and dive on into the list. Okay, so the first one I use is Canva Pro. It's $15 a month. Canva is a design tool. We use it for our brand guidelines, and we use it for a lot of just small client stuff if that comes up. Social posts. We have a brand guidelines in there right now that we use for all of our LinkedIn carousels and things like that. $15 a month. We only started pay for this in like the back half of the year, but I think it's worth it. So that one's probably going to stay. And Canva is super easy to use. You can set up different templates and design guidelines. We have one for our podcast that we do every week. We always post like a headshot of the guest, a quote from the episode, and we can really keep it consistent and branded. So to me, that saves a lot of time. And it's also going into it'll open to some of the other tools we're going to be talking about with Affinity and Photoshop and Adobe, and how I think we may be able to cut some costs for our agency headed into next year. So that's $15 a month. Second tool is Senja at $19 a month. We did a one-time purchase for a year on this, but I can confidently say Senja is 100% worth it. Senja is not just an internal tool for our own company, but it's also for testimonial widgets for our clients as well. So I'll show you a little bit how it works. Senja works by you basically can import bulk testimonials from clients or also my own Google Business Profile, and you can also send out forms to collect your own as well. So the way it works, so you can see we have probably like 600 within here now, but for all of our clients, we'll import their Google testimonials, and then we can create little widgets out of them and have their own studio where you can customize everything. We have some of them for design. We have some of them for local SEO, clients. You can make a wall of love that we did for the podcast. So we can set filters on different testimonials that appear within here and only set them based on what the review is for. You can set tags in there. And it's really helpful because you can import client testimonials in there as well, and it's really easy. So if you go over here to the left and you hit this proof, you hit import over here on the left, you can auto import and you can collect Google Business Profile, and you can set it to be dynamic too. So one of our clients, 2SP, once every time that they get a Google Business review, it'll show up live on the website directly into the widget we already designed. So it makes it really easy. You can connect with others. Senja is super easy to use. We have a ton of different widgets, and as you can see, this one is definitely worth the squeeze for me. So I'm going to be keeping that one. But again, $19 a month. Riverside is $29 a month. We use that for all of our podcast editing and recording. I recorded 53 podcasts for Marketing by Design this year, so I can say we got a pretty hefty ROI out of Riverside. Also makes it really easy to generate clips, which saves us a lot of time on the content side. I spend most of my Saturdays and Sundays within here editing, chopping up episodes, and it just does an awesome job of storing everything. We look back at our projects here throughout the year. We've got a ton of them, as you can see. I also started just recording some talking head stuff in here as well because the AI auto cut makes it really easy to trim things up. We'll always start in Tela, which is another tool that we pay for, and then import it into here to make some of the editing easier. But as you can see, we have just so many recordings in here already that I would never feel comfortable using this thing. So Riverside's worth it, and it is one of the more expensive ones, 29. But if you're doing a type of content production, I would highly recommend keeping it. Next on the list, Reloom Pro at $40 per month. That is a hefty expense, and this one I'm kind of on the wall about paying again for next year. So Relume is a site mapping and wireframing tool for Webflow and Figma. This one, it was really first to market in terms of a model like this. It used to save a lot more time than I think it could now. Just the way the industry's changed, the way our process has changed. We're not using it as much. And there's a version of this because it is so expensive. Where I could basically go to their component library and I could essentially clone all of these in an existing Webflow project so that I wouldn't have to use the app to then, pull component sections out every time we do a new site. If we have them already stored within Webflow, as you can see, they have them all the component sections mapped out right here. Makes it really easy to go and choose from. They do an awesome job. I love the Relume team. They add to this all the time, always adding more value with their product. But it is just so expensive. Like $40 a month, it's almost $500 a year. And again, we did the year purchase one time, so we managed to cut costs there a little bit, but it's so expensive. And the site mapping tool, there's some other free tools out there that can do site mapping. A UX Pilot is one that I played with. So I don't know, I'm a little bit on the edge on this one, but as you can see, we do have a lot of existing projects in here. So we'll be keeping it for now, and I don't think I have to worry about that. We're renewing for another 70 days or so. So all good there, but that is a hefty expensive tool we paid for this year. LinkedIn Premium, $60 per month. That's pretty non-negotiable. That's where a lot of our business development is done. The premium features, they let you send more connects. They have more profile visibility, so you can see people that come to your profile, and then we can do outreach to them. It just makes the platform easier to use, and it will give you better analytics, I believe, as well. So this one's directly ROI centric, so I can't see getting rid of LinkedIn Premium. But again, that is another thing that we are paying monthly for. Look at that. But yeah, LinkedIn Premium, that's $60 per month. ChatGPT Plus, pretty self-explanatory, $20 a month. We have so many projects within ChatGPT right now. It's just our normal AI tool that we're using. They just released 5.2. The biggest, I don't know about you guys or how you use AI, but I'm always using ChatGPT projects. There's very rarely where I'll ever have just a regular chat with it. So I can't see a whole lot of value outside of just a project in and of himself. And that's a big reason why I haven't left, because I've heard a lot of good things about Claude, and that's another one we pay for. So I thought about migrating all of that stuff over to there. I had a really good conversation with an agency owner 2 days ago, Marsh Williams. Shout out Marsh. And he said they made a transition, his studio in Columbus, they made a transition over to Claude after using ChatGPT for a while. And he said basically, and we had a little joke about it, but he said basically he prompted ChatGPT to say, hey, I am moving to Claude. Give me all the information that I can use to hit the ground running with setting up custom projects in here. So that's interesting. I thought about doing that because I do like Claude a lot more, and I'm already paying for it, so I'm not using it as much as I should. So again, I have all these projects in here. That's the biggest sticking cost. So I can do a little bit more research on how I can make that transition a little bit easier. But I can say in terms of ROI, ChatGPT, any type of AI tool in terms of the time to save, it's pretty unnegotiable in terms of the value. So that's the thing. I would be curious to see how many projects I have in here. And by the way, I don't know if this is the same for any of you guys, but does it ever take absolutely ages to load all of your projects? There'll be times where I'm literally sitting here. Sometimes I'll have to refresh the tab, which is really annoying. But that is another tool we pay for, ChatGPT. Claude Pro, I just talked about that. Basically the same squeeze with ChatGPT. We're going to be using it a lot more, and I'll plan to do some of the migration stuff we talked about. Another tool, so this one's a fun one that might be on the chopping block. Adobe Creative Cloud. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but there is this thing called Affinity Designer. And I have been dabbling. I have been playing with it a little bit. It doesn't quite make the squeeze for me yet. Just not quite there yet. I don't know what it is. And we do pay for Canva Pro already. So we do have access to the AI features that are within Affinity. So I thought about, okay, what if I was to cut myself off from all Adobe software, We use it for everything right now. We use it for Photoshop, a little bit for Lightroom, Premiere Pro. Um, I do at least I haven't used Premiere Pro in a while because it's clanky, it's junk or it's a little bit clunky, not clanky, in my opinion. But it's just the current value of my time right now is always better spent on bigger picture and more business development stuff. And I just like I've been using it mostly for thumbnails. That's mostly what we use Photoshop now for is thumbnails. And Affinity just is not as good. Like the background remove tool is not as good. I'd have to learn how to use it a lot more. And in terms of the value of my time right now, I just don't know if I can invest the time into it. So I think Adobe is going to be sticking around for at least another year. That purchase comes up at the start of the year, so a couple more days. But again, I don't know if it's going to be worth it for us. So we will see there. X out of Affinity here. Just maybe my bottom tab here. The next one that we are paying for, Shutterstock, I'm definitely canceling this one. We used it a couple months back for some real headshots. Because I do think there's a big value to having just real headshots and not making everything AI generated. But I think we're at the point now with AI where it's pretty good. I don't really need to be using regular headshots. Plus, we've already downloaded a lot from Shutterstock, so that's a good one that we can save on. So I'm gonna highlight this and turn it red. Show us we don't need that anymore. Next step, circle communities. Pay $200 a month in total. I'm in 3 different communities right now that are a combination of $90 a month. One of them was a year-long purchase, so it added up to about $200 a month. This is probably the most positive ROI of anything on this list. Obviously, it's very expensive, but it's not expensive if the value you get from it exceeds the cost. So that's staying. Very, very proud of communities and I think communities are the future. I hope to own one day and, be a more contributing member to one that I can curate. I don't think it would be a community of web designers, maybe something in healthcare marketers, other people that are more vertically aligned along a niche. So if you guys are watching this video and what do you see gap-wise in terms of a community that you enjoy and that you don't see anywhere else on the market? Let me know. Next up is Monarch Money. This one is very positive ROI. If you watch my monthly retros, then you know all about Monarch Money. So Monarch Money is kind of a top-level financial aggregator that sits on top of all of our bank accounts. You can aggregate all of your accounts, you can create tags within it, and just so good for financial awareness. And I gotta say, this is hands down the best money I pay for. Like $15 a month, I'm not even worried about it. And it's what has helped me become better at managing finances and learning about taxes. They have some AI features now that kind of let you set better goals and set analyses and stuff like that to help you analyze it better. But it has done wonders come tax time because you can literally, and again, if you go back and watch the retros, you'll be able to see me do this every month. You can literally go to your transactions right here. You can search, you can set filters. I have ones for business, MMG design, others from like paychecks and investments and things like that. But the big part is when you come down to expenses, you can set a meta category for business and you can set subcategories for all the tax advantaged business expenses that you might use. So come tax time, you can literally tag everything and then it stores all your expenses in here. You can hit download CSV, send it over to that good old tax advisor or CPA that you got, because you should have one of those. And you're pretty much set. So very positive. It's helped me to monitor like my costs when it comes to bringing on team members and again paying for all these softwares, which has still led to scope creep on this end. By the way, stick around until the very end when I show you guys how much the total is per month on aggregate. Yeah, so Monarch Money is staying. Moxie is our CRM, and this is another one that might be on the chopping block heading into next year. The one thing we do use it for, and it is nice for, and it's our time tracker for our contractors as well. So if I go into our Moxie account here, it's basically kind of a client management tool, internal. It lets me create my invoices as well. It's client facing. I know how to use it really well, but you guys know me. I'm huge on AI or on UI. So it's just the UI of this, as you can tell, just is not my cup of tea. It looks janky. I'm not a huge fan of it. But basically it does a lot of the things that we need. So it creates timesheets for all of our team members. They can clock in on a specific task. So I know how much a client pays us is relevant to how much it's costing us from an app standpoint. I can tie that back to how profitable projects are. Look over to Monarch Money, add tags in there too. Makes it really easy. It helps us. We create all of our invoices. It helps us monitor accounting in here as well. So again, positive and helpful. But again, if there's a better tool out there on the market, I've experimented a little bit with Bonsai, but they have a seat-based pricing system, and I don't want to be paying $25 more per month per user when all the developers are using it for is just clocking in and out on tap. So that's a bit of a pain in the ass. Maybe we can vibe code something. That could be a solution there. But this one I'm going to highlight as orange because I'm not sure the status of this, and we're a little bit undecided. So boom. Next one is Notion. So this is just for my seat. $10 a month, literally working at it right now. The difference between the free version and the premium version, from my understanding, is that it gives us more AI access, which I do use a lot. And I think it gives you more like expansive content as well. So I'm in Notion at the start of every day, the end of every day. So that's pretty non-negotiable. That's staying. Google Workspace plus AI Studio. What I've realized is that the more that I use Google AI Studio, the more tokens it's costing me to use Nano Banana. I realize it's not free now, so that's slowly creeping up. We also just bought 2 new domain addresses for our email. So we added 2 team members who both need emails, so that increases the price by like $7 a month per user. So that's going to be slowly increasing. I really want to monitor that as it goes up because I know that can climb, especially with all my Google AI Studio vibe coding that I've been doing. So that's got to stay though, because that's essential. Next up is the Webflow CMS. So we currently host 2 websites, the MMG website and also my personal website on there, and they both have CMS plans. Sort of heading into next year, that'll be really valuable because we'll be kind of splitting off my personal brand from the company brand and sort of diversifying the marketing strategy to fit under each. But currently, Webflow CMS plan is $29 per site per month. So that's where that comes from. Again, non-negotiable, got to stay. Workflow.design. This one might be on the chopping block as well because I do know a better alternative actually. This one is just, the only issue here is switching costs. So, Workflow.design, if you guys are familiar with markup, that used to be kind of the enterprise standard. They went fully enterprise, and now their cheapest, this is a client feedback tool, so basically we send links of Figma files to clients, and they can comment on them in like a UI interface, so you don't have to, like the traditional way, like when we first started, clients would send screenshots with emails and say like, change this image here, like it was horrible. But Workflow.design, it's got a really clean UI. I do like the tool. Nothing special, obviously, but I do have a friend who owns a product called Lucidly. What it's called? Shane, Lucidly.so. Basically a similar value prop, and I do like it. So yeah, I could just pay for the one-time purchase on this, and that would be a good way to support a friend. And also, it's $29 per month, though. It is actually more expensive. I think he would give us a one-time yearly purchase of like $200 or so. So this one could be on the chopping block, but I have no doubt this tool is superior. So again, Workflow.design. We already have so many client projects set up in here though, but it wouldn't be the biggest pain ever to revisit that. So again, we'll see. We have over 16 sites in here now. So yeah, that's a yellow, but it is $20 a month. Whisperflow. Absolutely non-negotiable. Guys, I don't know if you ever heard of Whisperflow. Whisperflow is a voice dictation tool that uses AI. Essentially, if I just do a little founder mode test here, basically hit the FN key on my keyboard, or you can tailor the command to be whatever key you want, and you can basically just talk to type. So I'm going to do it right now. I am currently recording a video about every software I use in my healthcare web design business. This is going to be releasing right at the end of 2025, and I'm now doing a showcase of Whisperflow. So obviously got that last word wrong, but I'm also wearing my hearing aids, so the Bluetooth isn't 100% synced up, but you can see how directionally accurate that was. It brings my typing speed up to, let's actually open the app here. It brings my typing speed up to 133 words per minute. So top 2% of all, holy shit. Guys, look at me. I'm a badass. But yeah, you can literally see the switching cost on this would be so high. I would be so lost without this now. It's kind of sad. But I don't know if you guys are traditionally skilled in like typing, but I took one typing course in middle school and I absolutely did not do it right. Like I still type like a normal, eloquent, non-sheep human. Like with both hands, I'm not like that bad. I don't use like my index fingers, but that would just save me a lot of time. That's pretty non-negotiable. That one's very good and it's staying. Additionally, sort of cranking through these last three here. Domain and hosting through Hostinger. This is also through GoDaddy. We have 2 or 3 domains over there. We own like 9 or 10 domains. Some for just random ideas that I've had, and others for like the MMG domains. That adds up to about $20 per month. But we pay for those yearly, as you guys probably know with domains. So that's just, non-negotiable. Some of those prices will rise too, though. So you got to be careful with GoDaddy and Hostinger because sometimes they'll let you buy a domain for very cheap and then they'll charge you more subsequent years down the line. So you sometimes got to be a little bit careful with how you are buying your domain. Next up is Figma Pro plan. So basically just lets you get more pages, more drafts, and it also gives you access to Figma sites and some other tools that Figma has. Figma is going super enterprise with their stuff. They're trying to basically replace Adobe and their Creative Suite, which, I mean, as you guys can tell, I am currently not taking advantage of just picking a lane and choosing between one or the other. I'm very bad at that, as you can tell already. But I love Figma. We use that for basically everything. So yeah, that's going to be staying. Next up is TLDV. This will be on the chopping block for sure. I did just pay for the yearly subscription again here, but that'll be reviewed. Basically, a meeting note taker. I have a meeting note taker named Tevin, and he joins all of our meetings and also stores all of our meetings in the cloud. I'm not going to show TLDV because it has all of our client meetings in there and all of the testing bases and stuff. But it's a one-time purchase of $210 a year, which works out to $17.50 per month. And it's nothing proprietary. We can use Google Workspace and Google Gemini now to record the meeting to get the exact same value prop. So it's going to be staying for now. But unfortunately, come next year, that is going to be gone. So going over the finals, if I cut out everything in here, I could save about 50, 60, 80. I could save about $80 a month if I cut the ones that I want. If I was really getting startup-y and scrappy, I could chop Adobe. So this one's going to be a yellow. Highlight it, turn it yellow. Here, yellow. That one may be headed out. So about $100 a month I could save. But again, the summary of this year, total of $750.49 per month, but on an annual basis, $9,005.88 per year on subscription. So that's the grand total. That's the big reveal. Hope this was helpful for you guys. Let me know if you guys think this is way too much or if this is kind of on pace with what you're currently paying. I don't know if this is way too much or if I'm just just no taste whatsoever. But let me know how this compares to your guys' stack. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.